I've been flying for over 36 years. I have never seen so much pressure on a system and seen it start to leak as I've seen now.
Airlines under fire. The FAA feeling the heat.
How many times are we going to have to issue the same recommendations?
And furious passengers stuck in the middle.
I feel like every time I travel, it's just never goes well.
White hot demand without enough staff, pushing the system to its breaking point.
I need not tell you what happened in March 2020. Whether you're watching this now or far in the future, that date will forever remain in people's minds as when the century's first pandemic emerged. It will remain in people's minds as when the era of social distancing and isolation began. It will remain in people's minds as when they got sick, or when a loved one got sick, or worse. In addition, though, for the millions of people worldwide working in the aviation industry, March 2020 will mark the date when they lost their jobs, when their company started turning south. It will mark the beginning of the end. There is perhaps no industry more severely impacted by COVID-19 than aviation.
Good evening, Professor and classmates. My name is Diego Cantres from our metrics, and our team is made up of Williana Blanco, Jose Torres, Raúl Cintrón, Saúl Estrada, and Darren Quintana. Today, we will be presenting 5 key ideas about the impact of COVID-19 on airline operations and the strategies used for recovery. Each idea will be presented by a different member of our group. Our first idea will be presented by Jose Torres, which is explaining how airlines manage their fleets. The second idea will be presented by Darren Quintana, focusing on how airlines searched for new sources of revenue. The third idea will be presented by Williana Blanco, who will discuss the virus control measures. Next, Saúl Estrada will cover our 2 team ideas using artificial intelligence and forming partnerships with e-commerce companies. And finally, Raúl Cintrón will conclude our presentations by summarizing how the pandemic challenged the aviation industry, but also pushed it to innovate and adapt for the future. Thank you.
Fleet management during the COVID-19. Okay, and I'll be explaining 5 main points, starting with number 1, which is going to be the massive grounding that happened during COVID-19, as we all know. So at the peak of the crisis in mid-2020, over 2/3 of the global commercial fleet was grounded due to the dramatic drop in passenger demand and travel restrictions, as we all experienced, of course. Second point will be the accelerated retirement. This is one that I didn't pay attention back then, but airlines expedited the retirement of older 4-engine and high-maintenance aircraft, such as, for example, the 747 and the Airbus A380, in favor of more modern twin-engine and fuel-efficient models like the Boeing 787 and the Airbus A350. Third point will be the shift to cargo operations. And in that regard, with passenger flights being disseminated, many airlines use grounded passengers aircraft for cargo-only flights to transport medical supplies and other goods, creating a crucial revenue stream and an important pillar of diversification. So this one, it was a pretty smart move by the airlines, right? Airlines needed income, needing to improvise and adapt to the circumstance of being in a state of, a pandemic, right? So really smart decision from part of the airlines. The next point will be the reduced utilization of aircraft. So for the aircraft that remain active, utilization rates dropped significantly. Airlines operated more aircraft at lower daily flight hours to maintain schedule flexibility, allowing for enhanced cleaning, right? That was a pretty important and fundamental step in that area of COVID-19, and have a buffer for potential disruptions as well. And lastly will be the maintenance challenges that the airlines experience. So the mass grounding created an unprecedented situation for maintenance, repair, and overhaul providers. While some maintenance was deferred to save cash, the need to store and reactivate large numbers of aircraft presented new logistical and technical challenges. So in many aspects, airlines needed to improvise and to establish new logistical steps in order to keep operating, not only operating, but doing so efficiently. So in essence, fleet management has been critical to airline survival and recovery, shifting from a focus of growth to emphasis on flexibility cost control, and adaptability to a changed travel landscape, such as the COVID-19 era. So yeah, this will be the 5 main points regarding the fleet management.
New resources of revenue. When the COVID-19 started, the commercial aviation saw unprecedented change toward cargo as grounded passenger fleet decreased significant capacity. Airlines rapidly converted passenger aircraft into temporary freighters. Different companies started making contact with e-commerce platforms and expand scheduled cargo routes. This initially a crisis response. This transition created a better revenue stream as global e-commerce demand to continue to rise and supply chain to stabilize. The result was that many carriers now treat cargo as a strategic business unit, using long-term partnership, freighter conversions, and integrated logistics solutions to stabilize revenue and reduce reliance on passenger traffic. The pandemic accelerated the airline industry, increasing focus to add new forms of revenue, as carriers aim to recapture lost demand and maximum revenue per passenger. They need to change traditional fee to make revenue. Thanks to those airline deploying dynamics pricing for seat and bag, introduce custom fare bundles, and expand the digital upselling at every stage of the customer journey, and have a good result. Rapidly in changing the passenger demand in the time of COVID-19 motivate airlines to put to work either aircraft and crew through charter service, leasing, government, and corporate contract line. This operation provides a stable, often premium yield revenue during downturn and demonstrate the value of flexible fleet deployments. The result was to the many carriers now maintain permanent charter and leasing division that serve as two sport teams, tour operation, logistics firms, and season market. This sector remains attractive to post-pandemic because it diversifies revenue sources, optimizes utilization, and allows the airline to capture a specific demand without risk of lashing full schedule routes.
How the airlines took measures to control their prices during COVID-19. The first thing they do was massive and strategic flight reduction. Airlines canceled international routes and reduced domestic flights. Entire fleets were grounded while demand stabilizes. Then they put strict health and safety protocols. They implement deep cleaning and disinfection of aircraft. Face masks became mandatory for passengers and crew, and temperature check and health questionnaires were introduced. Digitalization to reduce contact. Check-in process became fully digital, along while contactless boarding passes. Health documentation was uploaded through apps, and many airports adopt touchless system, including kiosks that scan document without physical contact. Then the crew management and international operation. Crew rotation schedule were adjusted to avoid mass infection within teams. As demand slowly recovered, they carry out rapid retraining programs and reassign employees to airport with higher operational needs. Economic relief and financial adjustments. Many airlines received government assistance to pay salaries. They restructured debt and negotiated with aircraft lessors. Investments, aircraft purchase, and non-essential expenses were suspended. Airlines promote vouchers instead of refunds to retain cash flow. Coordination with governments and international organizations. Operations were adapted according to guidelines from IATA, the CDC, and local regulators. Airlines established travel corridors and operated humanitarian flights. Routes were only reactivated when countries reopened their borders. Full flexibility for customers. They introduced penalty-free change policies. refunds process became faster and airlines increased communication regarding travel restrictions. This change helped rebuild customer confidence. Gradual reopening and data-driven planning. Airlines use demand models to gradually restore routes. They prioritize essential flights, cargo, essential business, and repatriation routes. The strong increase in cargo demand became a crucial support while passenger number remained low.
And I will be explaining the two ideas our team developed to help airlines recover and operate more effectively in the post-pandemic environment. These ideas are original and they are supported by recent literature. Our first idea proposes that airlines adopt artificial intelligence models to improve future demand forecasting. During the COVID-19 pandemic, traditional forecasting methods collapsed because they depend on stable historical patterns. When travel restrictions, consumer behavior, and market conditions changed suddenly, the old models could not adapt. Recent research confirms that these traditional econometric and time series tools were not capable of handling the structural breaks and volatility introduced by the pandemic. Our solution is to replace these limited tools with a hybrid AI forecasting system. Models such as ERUs and LSTMs can detect nonlinear changes in booking behavior, while more advanced approaches like VSTS with Kalman filtering can update forecasts continuously as new information appears. Generative adversarial works also help model shifts in pricing and demand under competitive or uncertain conditions. Together, these systems allow airlines to recognize trends earlier, anticipate sudden market changes, and respond more effectively to disruptions. One of those disruptions was just recently the government shutdown. Our second idea focuses on forming strong partnerships with major e-commerce companies. During the pandemic, cargo became one of the most reliable revenue sources when passenger traffic collapsed. Recent literature shows that e-commerce relies heavily on fast, frequent, and reliable air cargo corridors, especially for cross-border shipments that require rapid fulfillment. The idea allows airlines to secure stable cargo demand while integrating into modern digital logistics. Examples in the industry already show how partnerships can improve real-time cargo visibility, consolidate handling and synchronize operations across airports, sorting facilities, and distribution centers. These collaborations help airlines increase aircraft utilization, expand night operations, and maintain steady parcel flows during high volume periods. Research also highlights that when flight schedules align with warehouse and distribution activities, overall supply chain performance improves significantly. In the long term, these partnerships diversify airline revenue, strengthen competitiveness, and position airlines more firmly within the global e-commerce value chain. Now, this is just a brief summary of what our team ideas are, and I'll leave you guys with my colleague, Raul.
Hey class, I really hope you enjoyed that video. Now, this section, I'm only going to be talking about the key takeaways I want you to personally take away. So, number one, COVID-19, this pandemic affected the entire planet, especially the aviation industry. It put it in a corner where it had no other option but to innovate. For example, like we discussed, fleet management, we discovered that maybe instead of spreading passengers that carry the disease, we can use the aircraft for cargo. And then this goes in line with revenue management and diversification. Maybe just using cargo and finding other areas like selling e-commerce will replace that gap that we had in COVID-19 for not carrying passengers. Then another big discovery is how we realized how our cleaning standards maybe weren't up to date when it came to taking care of the plane whenever passengers deboarded, all right, and then cleaning and preparing it for other passengers. COVID-19 woke us up and showed us how we needed to upgrade, we needed to revolutionize, and we did so. And especially to combat this pandemic. And then finally, we discussed how AI, right, back then in COVID-19, wasn't really a big thing. It was just starting to get born. Nowadays, you can't name me any other industry that doesn't take an advantage of this tool. And if we use it to predict events, economic cycles, and even, hey, government shutdown, and then also use it for e-commerce, the aviation industry would have really benefited. So, hope you enjoyed that video again, and fly safe, Aerometrics.